you a few basics when you're starting to work with stoneware. Stoneware is a great product. It's oven safe, it's food safe, it's microwave safe, it's dishwasher safe. It's a really unique product, and then it's got these great qualities, and the customers will love it. A little bit more money, but it's definitely a better, higher quality than our low fire line. Our low fire line of Bisque, we have about probably 400 different mugs that we sell. And all these mugs are designed to go on a stilt inside the kiln. That's the way they're fired. For stoneware, because we're firing to a hotter temperature, we do not fire on a stilt. We fire right on the shelf of the kiln. So it just fires right like that. So you paint it and you fire it. But before we start, what we always want to do is when we take the stoneware, and it's usually wrapped in a piece of paper like this here, we want to take it out and we want to see if it's not cracked anywhere. Sometimes the stoneware can get cracked in shipping, so we want to kind of do a ping test to make sure it's not cracked. So the first thing to do is you get that nice high pitch to it. That's good. And you got a real thud. There's probably a crack in this piece somewhere. Now if I look really closely, you'll be able to see the crack. It's right there. Sometimes you can't see it from the outside, but you want to look around. There's definitely a cracked piece there. There it is right there. And if you do have that cracked piece, you want to stop right there. That piece is no good, and we want to kind of set it aside. So the next step we're going to do is, when we do our stoneware glazes, which we'll do another feature, we want to make sure we don't put the stoneware glazes too low. We don't want the stoneware glazes running off the piece and sticking to the floor of the kiln, because after it's fired, it's going to be stuck right there. So what we want to do is we want to use a product called Wax Resist right here. This Mako makes probably the best wax resist in the industry. It goes on really clear, and it dries very, very quickly. So when I first did my first stoneware piece many years ago, I wasn't listening quite well to the teacher, and I did not apply the wax resist at the bottom of my piece. And in conclusion, when it fired the kiln, it stuck to the kiln. So we want to try to avoid that, because that's kind of a mess right there. We can't really use that to the mug. So of course I had to redo the mug, put the proper wash on there, and the wax resist on there, and was able to fire it. It came out beautiful. So one of the things that people do is, there's two ways to mark your piece so that people don't go below the line when they're painting. You can either just do a finger technique where you say to the customer, paint everything from the finger down, or you can do what we did on this one here, is we painted just a Sharpie, inexpensive Sharpie, and you're gonna paint around the line of the bottom of the piece, just like that. And that would give them kind of a guideline to where they wanna paint, like that. So when they start to paint, they're gonna use a fan glaze brush, and we'll show that in another segment. But those are two basics. Now, one more thing I wanted to show you when you're applying the wax resist. You're gonna take a brush, and you're just gonna dip it in the paint, and you're just gonna slowly go around the piece. And it's pretty quite simple. It's not too difficult to do. Sometimes the studio owners will do it, but usually it's really, really quick to do. Just show them like that, and then hand them the piece, and they could do it themselves. But you can see how quickly this dries. Within a matter of 30, 40 seconds, this is gonna be dry, and then we can begin with our glaze work. So the wax resist not only will not stick to the bottom of the shelf, but if you happen to get any glaze that's on here, it will easily wipe off. So what we typically will do is, by mistake, if you had to, when you're putting the glaze on here and you accidentally get glaze on here, just let it dry. Take a wet sponge, and you're gonna just smooth it off, and it'll be perfect, so that when it does go on the shelf, it's not gonna adhere to it. One more thing I wanted to show you about the stoneware, it does shrink. So it does shrink about 12 to 13%. So quite a difference when you first get it. You're gonna think, oh my God, this is a really big mug, but it's gonna come down just the right size. And as you can see behind me, we have a number of different options for mugs, and on our website we have 20 to 30 other choices you can select from as well. Bowls, pizza stones, all that kind of great stuff. So stoneware is a really beautiful line and has some really great qualities.